Week 1 of the PPL was a disappointment. We came this close to pulling out our first victory, only to fail because of a 5% chance. Now that's not good enough. Can't be relying on every little small chance to go our way to pull out a victory. We need to play better. We need to prepare better. And that all starts with week 2. Now we are facing the Melbourne Victory Star and Jack, Electric Storm 252. It's the ShowDownUnder. The 2 Australian teams are facing off. And we are here to prove a point that we are not only the best Australian team, but one of the best teams in this league. We ourselves have some very potent threats. Mega Sableye is a problem for a lot of teams to deal with. Togekiss is an underrated powerhouse. Kyurem and Darmanitan are just nukes that can run through any team. But does that mean we can go easy? Does that mean we can let it come down to a 5% chance? No. We need to work for everything we can get. Now, this is not the end of our season. This is just a setback. We will come out and beat the Melbourne Victory Star. We will come out with a winning record this season. And by the end of this season, people will think of us as a threat. They won't sleep on the North Melbourne Kangaskhan again. And Troy, next time I play you, 6-0.
What's going on, guys? This is Travesty here, and today I'm bringing you week 2 of the PPL Division 2 against Jack and the Melbourne Victory Star. So, if you want to see the team, I'm bringing in more detail. Links to the team analysis will be down below. If you don't know what the PPL is, it stands for Pokemon Premier League, and it's a draft-based, sports-type Pokemon league that I'm involved in. And I'm the coach, manager, whatever you want to call it, of the North Melbourne Kangaskhan. Now, if you're smart, you might have noticed that both teams this week have Melbourne in their name. So this is actually a bit of a local rivalry, I guess. The 2 Australian teams in the PPL are myself and Jack. And so this game has been dubbed the ShowDownUnder. Because puns are terrible. In any case, again, links down in the description for the PPL, Twitter and YouTube. You should go subscribe to them because there are power rankings and weekly recaps and stuff like that up on there. There's also links to Jack's channel and Twitter. He's a pretty cool dude. He has some really fun Kingdom Hearts stuff, which I love. So go check that out as well. And also my team analysis video. I will quickly run through what I've got here. I have Physically Defensive Stealth Rock Nidoqueen, Nyx Defense Sableye, Trick Scarf Togekiss, Scarf Kyurem, Assault Vest Cobalion, and Leftovers Bulky Lantern. Now looking at his team, he didn't bring the Registeel, which means Kyurem has a much nicer time breaking through his core. He also didn't bring Electros, which I was very surprised by because Electros was actually a bit of a problem for my team. The main thing I had for it was Nidoqueen. I needed Nidoqueen to take a lot of hits for other things as well, so I'm surprised he didn't bring it, but then again I can see why he brought some of the other things that he did. It was one of those things I thought he might bring, and he brought the Salamence instead, which is very, very scary. If it gets up a couple of Dragon Dances, I might lose, but hopefully I have enough coverage on everything, because I pretty much have ice coverage on every single one to try and deal with that. So, I am just going to start the battle. Now, for some reason his name is Jacqueline. dazzling his issue anytime I put whatever. I decided to lead off with my Nido Queen and try and get rocks up as he goes with the Salamence. And I don't particularly want to stay in here and take an Earthquake or potential Outrage or whatever, so I decided to switch out in my Togekiss because even though I'm Scarfed, Togekiss is pretty bulky. And he goes for Aqua Tail, which is actually a really good prep on his part, because obviously it hits Nido Queen and will also actually affect Togekiss. But the damage shows me that it's banded, so I have a free switch into my Lantern. Now he actually pulls the switch as well into Suicune, I guess hoping to take a Scarf Dazzling Gleam or potentially Scarf HP Ice from Togekiss. So that worked out in our favour worked out really well for us. Now here I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. I don't really need to go for Toxic onto Suicune just yet. So I decided to Volt Switch out, get some momentum back in my favour, and you see that does absolutely nothing to Dragalge, which it's hard to tell from the damage, but it looked like it was probably bulky. I was expecting it to be bulky anyway because speed doesn't help against anything on my team. And you see it does have leftovers, not Black Sludge, but yeah, recovery in that form, so it does look like it's more of a bulky set. I decided to use this opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks, predicting the switch out because I couldn't really do much to Suicune anyway. So I figured it was more important to get my rocks up at this point in the game, start wearing things down so that Kyurem can come in and just nuke everything. So he pulls a really nice double here into the Dragalge, expecting me to switch back out into Lantern, which is exactly what I do. You do see there on the switch as well that Suicune does outspeed Nido Queen, so I'll need to bear that in mind. He gets his leftovers recovery, I don't because I'm still at full. And here I decide to go a bit more on the offensive, predicting to stay in and go for the Ice Beam to try and get some damage on this Dragalge, because it's one of the few things that can actually take an Ice Beam from Kyurem, so I just need to wear these things down. Now he sets up a sub here, and that's very scary because I could have just Volt Switched out into my Cobalion, and he still would have been a good amount of health, though I wouldn't be able to take a Focus Blast. So I decided to just Ice Beam, break the sub, because Lantern can take any hit, and all I really needed to do is just have Water Absorb, so that Skull cannot touch me, so I can 1v1 the Suicune, and if I trick it a Scarf, then I'll be fine. Problem is, he gets the Poison, which is super unfortunate because it means that Lantern is going to wear itself down, because the only form of recovery it has this week is leftovers. I'm not running Resto Chesto like I was last week. So that Poison really sucks. Now here he switches out into the Suicune, trying to preserve the Dragalge, maybe for differential, maybe just because it can nuke something later. I just go for the Ice Beam. I didn't really expect him to preserve Dragalge. I don't see why he should have. Didn't help him at all later in the match either, but you know, Suicune choose that Ice Beam like it's nothing, so it's not like it costs Suicune anything. Now here, I'm really scared. Given he brought this in on my Lantern, which is designed to take it on, I'm guessing he's going to try and set up. So I just go for the Toxic here. I don't think he's going to try and switch out just to wear my Lantern down. So I go for the Toxic. I have to just force this Suicune to rest up. And if I can force it to go for rest or Calm Mind when I trick it a Scarf, then it's not a problem anymore. So I just go for Toxic, get that little bit of residual building up, and hopefully be able to trick it a Scarf, make it not a problem anymore. So he gets his lefties, he's going to get poisoned, I get my lefties, I'm going to get poisoned, etc. And this is where that poison becomes really frustrating, because if I'd been gaining 6% the last couple of turns, Lantern would be at a decent amount of health, it'd be able to chew any hit from this Suicune, get a Volt Switch out into my Togekiss where I can then trick it a Scarf and make it a non-issue again. Instead of which, he's able to kill with this extra Sentry, and my Water Immunity just died. Which means now, even if it does lock itself into Scald, I have a problem, because it can hit. It can't really do much to Kyurem, but I really don't want Kyurem taking damage this early in the game. But I might not have a choice. If he goes to extra sensory again, then I can bring in Sableye, get my Mega off, and just do some damage to things. So, as I said, I bring in Togekiss, I just have to go for Trick, I have nothing else I can do to this Suicune, I just have to stop it from setting up anymore. Unfortunately, he does just lock himself into Scald, which does take out Togekiss, so me getting lefties did not help at all there because of the banded Salamence. Now this is looking very bad. We're down 6-4 and he has a Scarfed +1 Suicune. So I have to go into Kyurem here, because 2 Dragon Pulses plus Poison should take him out, and Scald hopefully doesn't do too much damage. So I go for the Dragon Pulse, and we actually get a crit which I don't think mattered because, like I said, I think 2 Dragon Pulses would have done for 40%ish, and the Poison would have done the rest of the damage. And you can see his Skull doesn't do much, but he gets the burn, which again is super unfortunate because I need this Kyurem healthy. I need it to be at as much HP as possible just in case I need to take a Mach Punch, for example. And being burned, now it probably can't from an offensive Life Orb Infernape, for example. He brings in his Altaria knowing I'm locked into Dragon Pulse, so I have to switch out because I need to preserve my Kyurem. And I just go straight into Nidoqueen. Because even if he goes for Earthquake, it won't 2-hit KO, even if his max attack is Adamant, and I can just force him out with a Poison Jab, and nothing on his team wants to take a Poison Jab right now. But he just goes for the Facade, which is nice preparation, expecting Will-O-Wisp on Sableye. And that does absolutely nothing to Nidoqueen, which is just beautiful to watch. And like I said before, he doesn't really have anything that wants to take a Poison Jab at this point, so that's what I decided to go for. If I was him, I think I would have sacked Dragalge here. I'm not sure why he didn't, because it doesn't do anything for him this match, but that was just me. Instead of which, he lets me get a free 40 to 50% on his Tauros, which is just great, because now it can't take an Ice Beam or a Dragon Pulse, whereas before I would have been forced to use Draco to try and take it out. So he just goes for the Earthquake here. I switch out into my Sableye, knowing I can take anything, absolutely anything, from this Tauros apart from a Natural Gift Keyberry, which I wasn't really expecting because to have Natural Gift he has to have Intimidate, and he just demonstrated that he doesn't. So here I decided to just get my Mega off and recover up, try and keep Sableye healthy because I still need it as a switch in to a lot of his threats. It's also nice to just have that magic bounce around in case he tries anything tricksy. So I just go for a cover, like I said, get myself back up to full HP, and here I decide to just go for Zen Headbutt in case he starts trying to set up, which is exactly what this Infernape does. Goes for a Swords Dance, which is potentially going to sweep my team. But if he's not Life Orbed, then I can live any hit. If he is Life Orbed with Flare Blitz, he'll be taking a lot of recoil. If he's Life Orbed without Flare Blitz, we will live, just as demonstrated here. Fire Punch does not take us out. I did EV that, so if he did have Flare Blitz, it would basically, like, he would have pretty much died to recoil. If not, I could have just sacked something else off and he would have died to Life Orb recoil anyway. So Sableye managing to pick up the KO, hitting both at Zen Headbutts, thank the Lord, on that Infernape. Now here, brings in the Mega Altaria again, and I just go for Icy Wind because I cannot afford to let that thing set up. There is no point trying to preserve Sableye because at this point in the game, Kyurem can lock itself into Ice Beam and just win. He doesn't have Infernape to take me out anymore, he doesn't have Suicune to take the hit, so I just need to keep everything speed down so Kyurem can outspeed it. Go for Icy Wind, which does a huge amount to Salamence, which is just fantastic. He's able to take me out with an Earthquake here, which would have been very, very scary if I didn't have Scarf Kyurem in the back, because this is now a +1 Choice Banded Salamence, which I would have -5 switch-ins for because I do have a massive ground weakness that we've talked about. But I do have Choice Scarf Kyurem. I'm able to click Ice Beam, which will decimate this Salamence, like it has no HP left anyway. We're able to just take it out. Down goes the Salamence, Kyurem picking up its second kill of the game, and he has nothing for this anymore. Altaria will just die, Tauros will just die, Dragalge will just die, because he let me get free damage on all of those things. If he'd sacked off Dragalge, then brought in Tauros, it would still be healthy enough where I would have had to switch out, bring it back in, risk a Draco miss, that kind of thing. Admittedly, I did still have 2 other mons, so I could have taken out that Tauros, but I don't know, I still feel like that could have been played a little bit better. He brings in the Tauros here. Like I said, I'm Scarfed. I know that it's Life Orb, because I saw Life Orb recoil before. I just go for Ice Beam, destroy this Tauros, and Kyurem is just proceeding to clean through the rest of his team. And luckily we're not going to go down to burn damage, because if I had lost Kyurem to burn here, I would have been so annoyed, because I still could have lost potentially. Instead of which we do live. Stealth Rock's helping to just wear everything down, and nothing takes an Ice Beam. From a max special attack, modest Kyurem, Ice Beam just destroyed the rest of his team. Which means that we won! Finally! We got our first win after the devastatingly close loss last week. Picking up a 3-0 there against the Melbourne Victory Star and winning the ShowDownUnder, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm so glad to get my first win in a draft format under my belt, because it's just like a huge weight has been lifted. I know I can actually belong in this kind of league. I'm not completely outclassed by everyone, Jack, that was really, really good match. He was upset with how he played. I don't think he played badly. He definitely made some really, really good plays, put a lot of pressure on early. The only thing he was really mad at himself with was trying to set up too early with Infernate, which, yeah, I can kind of understand why he'd be mad at himself, but, you know, there are 9 more weeks in this league, and I'm sure he's going to do really, really well. He's a really, really good battler, really nice guy, like I said. I don't know if I said it in this recording, this is the second time I'm recording this, but he does some Kingdom Hearts stuff, which I really, really like, so make sure you go check out his channel. Also check out all the PPL stuff, because they'll keep you updated on overall league standings, MVP races, all that kind of stuff. And all those links will be down in the description, so make sure you go look at those. Now next week, we will be facing the Chicago Cupchews and Carter. And I'm not looking forward to that match. Well, I am, because it'll be fun, but I'm not in the sense that I have a terrible team matchup. He has Mega Gardevoir, which just nukes my entire team. He has a Crawdont, which just nukes my entire team. He has a Garchomp, which potentially nukes my entire team. He has a Roserade. Like, it's not a good matchup for me, but we are going to do our best. There's also a transfer window opening up this Friday, so the team may change a bit. We're allowed to pick up, I think, 2 Mons at least once at one point in the season, and 1 Mon at every other transfer window. So we'll see what trades come up. We'll see what we can pick up, what we want to drop, that kind of thing, to try and make this team a bit more solid. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. Stay tuned for more PPL stuff, because that is apparently what's dominating my channel right now. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next upload.